been busy. How are you, man?
I'm surviving.
All right.
Surviving.
I will not add much stress. That'll get out of here in about 5-10 minutes. Before I go any further, I do want to say thank you to your wife and thank you to you and your family for supporting her. And I know that the ripples go out and out and out throughout the last year, but I really appreciate all that you guys have done as a family for so many people here in San Diego. Let's talk some football. We actually have football. It is no longer a hypothetical date. There are real games, real teams, real things. Has somebody been tackled yet? Where are you guys? Will the ball be able to be moved? Will you guys be able to stop people? Have you figured out the basics?
We're trying. Obviously it's a work in progress. We did do obviously a little contact. Actually yesterday, I'm really concentrating on tackling and some Helix toughness type stuff. We are actually doing football. We're making our players wear masks all the time, so they have masks under their equipment. And we've been going through the protocols for a long time during this off season. We've probably went off and on probably more than a lot of teams, but it's been good to have the guys out there and to really put actual football on the field. So
you guys have about about a half dozen practices under your belt at this point. Where how many days have you guys been going for?
So let's think. So that Thursday and Friday was the Friday, Saturday, the 26th, 27th were the first days. So we did that, and then we went.
So you guys are coming up.
So no, we don't have that. Yeah. So basically, yeah, exactly a week.
Coming up.
So it's not gonna be a lot of practices. I mean,
has it?
They have to go to every practice in order to do it, to be able to do it. So to play.
Which is not. Are you getting good participation? You getting the numbers that you wanted?
Once we started, everybody that's been coming with us, obviously has been with us. Obviously those seniors that were doing the travel stuff a little bit, and everybody was trying to take advantage of any opportunity they had because we just didn't know. And for me, I was always optimistic this was going to come. I thought it was going to come earlier. I was one of those guys that was just say, hey, just hang with us. It's going to happen. At some point, they're going to allow us, but I understood, I wasn't going to tell a kid not to do travel or go do a showcase in Utah or wherever they went, just because it was opportunities that they were seeking out. And, who am I to tell them not to seek something out when in reality, there was no guarantee that we would get something. But now that we have it, those guys have been great and coming in. Obviously, we have a couple guys obviously not with us or, are not going to participate. For different reasons, but I think that the group we have is, it's an exciting time. We got seniors that want that last taste of high school football, and we got a lot of young guys that are going to get some opportunities to see what it means to play on a Friday night in COVID.
Well, with the size you have on the offensive line, I'm assuming you could put most people in just San Diego County in the backfield, and you'd still produce pretty decent results.
Yeah, I think you have LL on Noah, and then we did Christian Washington. Those guys, sometimes make those guys pretty good, but we're pretty confident in our front, guys, and it's great having those guys back, and obviously, those guys were a big piece of who we were last year, and so for those guys to step up for us, is great, and like I said, we. You have to put your pieces in. I know some people think Helix, we just show up and we got athletes everywhere. We have a lot of guys that have to step up, and we have to, get some guys to improve fundamentally and in seeking what, we do offensively, defensively, and special teams. We kind of have a philosophy and a mold that we try to create, and, we try to get guys to fit into that, and then we adapt our system. I feel like, what we do offensively, defensively, and special teams, we could throw the ball 50 times a game if we wanted to, and then we can, line up and smash mouth it if we need to 70 times a game. So, I think that's what kind of makes us unique.
So even in a shorter season where we're definitely not going to have all the games to get the offense matured, you still feel like you'll be capable of implementing stuff pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think, the great thing about COVID, if there was a great thing.
Let me hear this. This is getting clipped to put on Twitter, so let me hear this one.
So I think we got a lot of opportunities to do Zoom meetings. Now, I would tell you some players were able to take that structure and get from it a lot. And other kids probably turned on their screen and fell asleep. But I would tell you from a quarterback's perspective, from an all offensive line perspective, from an offensive perspective, because that's mainly, but I think defense would say the same thing. I can tell you our quarterbacks are more advanced in our offense at this point right now than most kids, because quarterback wise, we've been meeting 3 times a week since COVID started last February. I mean, literally, we've been meeting 3 times a week, going over film, going over Carson Baker film, going over Cam Brown film from last year. We went through the whole thing. We implemented, I did, index cards of every one of our pass plays. Our quarterbacks and I, we wrote out the plays and they drew them on Zoom with me. And we went through read progressions. And we talked about why we do things. The football IQ aspect of it, if the kids came in with that attitude to improve in it, it was a great opportunity. I have a freshman quarterback right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say his name, Rylan Jesse. Okay, mark him down. This kid is the real deal. And I can tell you right now, in our offense, as a freshman right now, he is at a junior level with every quarterback I've ever had. And it's because of COVID. I mean, he's been with me. We've watched film. He wants to be good as a quarterback. He's got all the skill sets. And so with COVID, not having the games, not having the pressure of a game plan and all that, we've been able to install something and get him to kind of understand it to a level. I would tell you right now, he's right where Carson was when I first took over the program, and Carson was a junior. He is exactly where Carson, and he's a freshman, hasn't even taken a snap of varsity football.
My goodness.
So, I mean, I'm excited about that opportunity. So.
Yikes. I'm excited about having that back too now. Do you think there's anything that sticks around from COVID? Do you think this means you will just work Zoom meetings into your work year with other quarterbacks 5, 6, 10 years from now? Is video stuff going to stick in the high school realms or?
I think there's still going to be an element of it that's probably more than what it was before. I mean, I still think there's
nothing before
guidelines, but I think, obviously being there interactive, I would tell you what has taught me as a coach is like the index card thing. I have, and I'll give JT O'Sullivan a lot of credit, over at Patrick Henry, because JT, who I think is an unbelievable coach, but JT kind of does this with his kids, and I kind of stole some of it from him. But I would tell you that's something that I've done with our kids. And basically, again, first day install 5 pass plays. We drew up those 5 pass plays. We went over the hots. We went over the read progression. We went over where their eyes should be, all those things. And we put it on an index card for them. And that little study that I did during this COVID time, I would tell you it's something I truly believe. I've told college coaches that are buddies with, I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I've watched your quarterback. He needs you to do this in the off season. So I think there's things that have happened in COVID that we will continue to do. Obviously, if I can do that in person, it's going to be better. But I do think there's some things that we learned about, I think in general, and I just had a conversation about this 25 minutes ago. I feel like in general, we found that there are certain rules that we had with CIF that no longer, we have this rush season and all that they worry about and, can't do these things. And now all of a sudden we can do them because of COVID. I just think it's made us, I hope everybody kind of sit back and analyze our game as a whole. Hey, make it safe, do all the things that we've been doing. So let's not make it miserable for coaches, because a lot of these rules and things that are in place for us make it harder for us as coaches. And I can tell you it's taken some guys out of the game because, they've made this game really hard in every high school sport. I mean, being a high school coach right now is not easy to do. And with COVID, it hasn't made it any easier, but I do think it's giving you a perception a little bit of, what's important. And, I think it's eliminated some of the pressure I've put on myself. And, I laugh at people on Twitter. I'm not a social media guy anymore. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't get on there anymore just because it pisses me off. And I don't want to say something, that I don't want to. So I go on Twitter 1 time a day in the morning, and that's all I do. And I literally take 2 seconds. And my thing with that is, there's all these people out there that have all the answers, but they haven't been in these shoes. And, people are like, hey, all Helix cares about is winning championships. Yeah, we do. We care about winning championships. And that's important to us. I mean, I got win 10 right here. Okay. We've won 10. I told you when I took this job, I wanted to catch Oceanside and CIF championships. That's a goal of mine. Hey, we're going to get kids to go to college. We're going to have a great experience. I can tell you the experience kids have at playing football at Helix is unique and special. And people can say what they want about their program, but we're going to help kids get to college, and we're going to win championships. And that's what it's all about.
Well, I'll say 2 answers, one serious, one joking. Come join us on TikTok. Have some fun there. I'll send you some fun cat videos or whatever. It's the happy social media. It is so much nicer not having comment sections to read through. people think that our top 10 was based off of anything realistic because we have no real idea. The kids are older. Everything's crazy. We were just happy to have football back. And we learned some people were not happy with just that. They needed their team to be the ones talking about in the championship races. On the more serious side, I will say you are just yet another one of the many coaches that we have had talk with us about how, yes, they are stoked to be back, but people don't realize that means 3 or 4 hours a day extra worth of cleaning gear or doing protocol. I just got done talking to Coach Joyner at Mater Day. You guys are playing them week 1, which is very exciting. I'm super stoked to see that game. But he said, yeah, school ends at 12:30. Practice starts at 3:30. The kids are usually just hanging out because I am busy shuttling 2 of them at a time. And it seems like it is crazy hard to ask you guys who are already overworked to do more hours. And the math just doesn't come out in my head, like you said, how it can really be fair and enjoyable to do the same job with these protocols as you could just during a regular season.
Correct. And I would tell you it's added, but I would say at least we have football now. I think there was a time, and a few months ago where, what we were being able to do, not having a weight room and having to pull out equipment outside and doing conditioning and doing all that outside. There was a time where I would sit back and doing the temperature checks and all the protocols we had to go through and wiping down everything that we touched and all that. I would sit there and go, this isn't worth it. Yeah. Like what we're doing isn't worth it. The only reason we did it is because we love kids. And that's what people didn't understand. We were doing this 100% because we love kids. If you look at what, with all the coaches with let them play and all those things, I have so much respect. The only reason those guys, they weren't getting paid to do that. Those guys did that because they love kids and they want to help kids. And I think sometimes that gets lost because all of us football coaches are the same. We're all competitive, high intensity guys. And I think sometimes that's what people read. But again, just being on the football field, I can tell you the very first day, the 27th or whenever the first practice we could have back in spring, I ran around that field yelling and screaming because I was excited to be back on the football field and not necessarily doing all the nonsense that we've been, not nonsense. I know we have to do it for safety.
Nonsense is the right word, though, at the same time.
We have to do. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been easy. And I have to give a lot of credit to our coaches. I mean, and I know at Helix, we do things right and we do things above and beyond. We had all of our kids tested this week. Okay. We're treating tomorrow or today's practice like it's game night, and you have to have a test in today or you can't practice tonight. And we're going to do a little inter-squad situational scrimmage tomorrow because we feel like it's important that we get our kids to kind of understand the new processes we're going through. And like I said, hopefully we'll get to some time where we don't have to test next week. That would be awesome because it is a pain and it's just another bookkeeping thing, that you got to do. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're doing everything we can to make this game safe, make this game enjoyable for our kids. And it's just great to have them out there doing what they love and what we love. All of us, again, we're involved in football because, I always tell the kids, this game puts you before you quit. And if you're coaching, it's because it quit you, but you don't want to quit it. So you keep on it. And that's what this is all about, giving those kids this opportunity.
I absolutely love that. Coach Owens, thank you so much for joining us. Folks, the Helix Highlanders are going to have an amazing stretch of games here that you need to go check out. You can find all their information on social media. Let me just close with a little bit of an open floor. Any of your seniors or any guys specifically that you just want people to look out for this season so they can know a little bit about your team? I mean, you've already dropped the hammer of the hottest quarterback that you've ever coached, but there has to be a couple other guys.
I'm putting pressure on him. He's going to listen to this. And
I like it. No, I like it. That's the hottest take we've gotten so far.
But I'm telling you, he's a good. I would say, the thing that's the hardest thing as a coach is when we didn't have that recruiting spring and we had to go through the recruiting process was so muddy this year. And it was so hard for players, for parents, for coaches, for college coaches. It was hard for everyone. And there's some kids on our team that if we would have had a normal spring last year, would have gotten a tremendous amount of opportunities that they didn't get this year. And then we had kids that worked their tails off to become really good football players and haven't been able to really showcase that yet. And I'm excited for them. But, guys like Jerry Riggins and, Sean Martinez and Noah Valario, Blaze Zito. I mean, we got so many guys Okay, Jordan Dominguez, Michael Boone. I mean, all these seniors. That's the thing I would tell everybody is, and everybody has them. Every football program. We have these seniors that have worked 4 years to get this opportunity. Sometimes at Helix, you have to wait till your senior year to get quality film. I mean, you get to play a little bit as a junior, but you don't get to play because all those guys are maybe a little bit better than you when you're younger. So I just want every senior to take advantage of this opportunity, live every moment, play every play. Again, you never know when this game's going to be taken away from you. You never know when this game is different than all the other sports. You can't just go play 5-on-5 basketball and go play 11-on-11 football. When this game quits you, it quits you. And like I said, enjoy every moment, play it. And I hope coaches are doing that. I hope they realize what's important in life, family, all those things are important now. And I think hopefully we all learn this during this epidemic.
Let's certainly hope we learn at least a little bit of that. Coach Owens, thank you very much for joining us, folks. Go check out the Helix Highlanders this year. They're going to maybe win 11 this year. They'll throw themselves their own CIF parade at the end of all of this. They're going to take it one game at a time, though. They got moderate.
Hey, I'm trying. We're playing Steel Canyon twice. I'm trying to get our last game. And I know some people with the schedule, whatever, you guys can talk all you want. What I want to do, honestly, because we can play a team that is in an adjacent county. What I'm trying to do right now, and I know Longerbone and Kellen Cobbs and Carlo, we're all trying to do it because we're playing each other twice. So we're playing Still twice, and Granite and Rosemont are playing twice. I want someone in the southern section. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if it's Bosco. I don't care if it's Monterey. I don't care. Last game of the year, don't play your team. Split it up. One of you play Steel. One of you play us, and we'll have our own freaking South versus San Diego, California sectional championship. I don't care. I'll buy a damn trophy. I don't care. I want that experience because that's what it means to play at Helix. We play for championships. If you want to play Helix, make it to a CIF semifinal or an open. Okay. And then we'll play it. And that's the thing. I want to be able to play that something that matters, something to our kids and get that opportunity. We're still working on it. But hopefully with COVID,
Coach. Longerbone's on board with this?
Longerbone said he's the same way.
So if I take to social media and become part of that buzzing hive of hornets,
we need 4 teams. We want 4 teams. We want 4 teams to be able to play because people don't realize how hard it is in the Grossmont League. Everybody can say scheduling is hard for you. We get 3 conference games. I know everybody's got to schedule a couple tough games. I have to play Mission Hills, Corona Centennial. I have to play in the Honor Bowl on days. I got to play Hamilton and Arizona because I have to fill so much of my schedule and I can't do it. What we're doing now is we're trying to take care of each other. We're not going to bail on each other. I'm not going to bail on Longerbone. I know how hard it is to schedule. If we can get 4 teams that want to play in that last week, and we'll even manipulate it into 2 weeks if we have to, because we got a little bit of flexibility. We need 4 teams that will be and we want it to be something unique and special for our kids.
Hell yeah. I'll
tell you, even Cathedral, I'm telling Cathedral, you want to play us the last game? I don't know who you're playing. Hey, I don't know who you're playing on your schedule. Hey, you want to play the last game of the year? We'll figure it out. Hey, we'll play and we'll pretend it's a CIF championship. La Costa Canyon, Oceanside. I don't care. I am calling out everyone. Let's do something special and unique. This is COVID. Like I want to do something, and I don't want to do it early. See, I want something at the end, like it's like a normal year for our kids. And again, people can say what it is, say what you want about me. That's my belief. That's my love. That's my passion. And I mean, we'll dump Gatorade at the end of the year. I don't care. Let's do it.
That's actually one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken was you getting dunked in the water last year. Got you kind of just like at that perfect time.
I have it. I did now photo credit. I didn't even give you credit for that.
So it's all good. I don't even need it. Right place, right time. All right, Coach, look, I don't know exactly what we're going to have to do, but if I have to drive to those other schools and egg them and write Helix is coming for you on Corona Centennial's campus,
I've had some schools up in the southern section. They're just not adjacent. Hey, a Paraclete wanting to play us. I play Paraclete. If the guidelines switch, we would play each other because that's a game. Paraclete was a team we played in the Honor Bowl a few years ago. Great football game, 2017, one of the best teams I've ever had, obviously, and we played them. But again, we're not adjacent. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be a team with the open. It doesn't have to be open. I just want someone to be willing to be creative in this COVID year. Is you know, like I said, I don't know who everybody's playing. If Corona Centennial's playing somebody and that somebody doesn't want to play Corona, I'll play Corona. And whoever that somebody is will play Steel. And then but we got to take care of all four teams. We got to play, take care of Granite. We got to take care of Grossmont. Again, we're in this together. And again, our schedule sucks every single year. And you can say as a coach, you understand it, but you don't. Ask Longbro, ask Carlo. It is not easy to schedule what we have, because we have 3 games. We have all the rest we have to fill on our own, and it sucks. So I'll never bail on those guys. I know it's easier for them to bail on me, so I'm hoping they'll never bail on me as well. So
I've never been happier for a random idea to turn into something that's legitimately one of the best things I have ever heard on this show. Coach, I am so pumped up now. You have got me completely fired up more than any interview has. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Your next morning that you log into Twitter will probably have a couple of mentions, but we will we'll make sure to keep them as clean as we can, because I think everyone's going to love what you're saying. So we really
morning for about 2.5 minutes is all you got.
Deal. I don't need you to dial in on any of it. I don't live or die by the retweet. I just want you to know, heads up, there might be some tagging in some wrestling style throwdowns that you're just putting there on an open call for what I think is an absolutely fantastic idea. That would be a super, super cool and special way to end the season, with some sort of trophy or celebration of just a finality of it all, to have something really, really fun. But hey, let's take it 1 week at a time for now, and let's look forward to that first scrimmage, that first game, and we will see you soon on a field. Coach, thank you so much for your time.